Welcome back to the 2-minute warning. Back on the topic of the NFL today. Today talking LA Chargers. As you can see, today we're looking at whether or not they should make a trade in the 2021 NFL Draft, whether they trade up or maybe even trade back. But today, again, Jay and I are looking at whether or not they should make a trade in the 2021 NFL Draft. But before we get into the video, question of the day, really for you Chargers fans or just football fans in general, who would you want to see the Chargers trade up for? Is there anybody that you want to see on the team so bad that you'd be willing to trade up for them? Because I think there are several key guys or a couple guys in this draft that I think it'd be worth it for. But getting into the video, Jay, tell me a little about what you think the Chargers might want to trade for.
I do want a trade to happen, whether it be up or down. I want some aggressiveness to happen. You only get a top 10 quarterback like Justin Herbert on a rookie contract one time where he's cheap. I hope in the future he goes the Tom Brady route and gives a family discount, but we don't know the future, so I want them, while he is relatively cheap, to be aggressive and make a trade up. And I'm not saying trade up in the top 5 and go get Penei Sewell, but if you see a guy, one of two, Penei Sewell or Kyle Pitts, start to fall to 8, 9, or 10, you have to be aggressive and jump on him. He's not going to fall to 13, but for him to fall out of the top 6 or 7, him, I guess, is Sewell or Pitts. For one of those two to fall out of the top 7, you got to start making some phone calls, at least seeing what it's going to cost. I don't want to see the Chargers give up like a future first rounder, because that kind of defeats the purpose of aggressiveness, because Justin Herbert's on his contract for 4 or 5 years, and that kind of hurts the other years. But if it's going to cost you maybe a second or third, that's still a little bit of capital, but it's not going to destroy you when you get a Kyle Pitts, who's being compared to Megatron, and a Penei Sewell, who is a former teammate of Justin Herbert that you know will protect the guy. Just one of those two guys. I'm not saying trade up in the top 5, and there's a good chance we could see, Kyle Pitts go to the Falcons number 4 and Bengals take Penei Sewell number 5 and the trade's done. That's fine. But come draft day, if one of the two are slipping, consider it, at least see what it's going to cost.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with what you say. The two guys you said of Sewell and Pitts, I think, are great options that would be worth trading up for. Now, even more than Sewell, I don't see Pitts making it past Miami. At least we've kind of agreed on that. That I think the sixth pick. Well, now who's got the 6th pick?
Miami.
That's right. Miami now has the 6th pick. So yeah, I don't think Pitts is going to make it past that. But if he does, then yes, you said it perfectly. It's worth coming 7th or 8th if he's around. Then you got to take advantage of that, because you're looking at an offense that could then have Jared Cook, who you just got, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler out of the backfield is very good. So a passing attack that would be that good, plus Kyle Pitts, would be something that you really can't pass up. So, and then yes, you talk O-line, either of those two guys. Now, what would be interesting is if you have them both sitting around at 8, which is very unlikely. Who do you choose? But if either one of them are available just inside the top 10, not all the way up at 5, you don't trade up that far, like Jay said. That'd probably be giving up too much. But if he's around at 8, 9, I say you go for him. And then I don't know. Do the Chargers want somebody like Caleb Farley bad enough? Patrick Surtain or there's another one, J.C. Horn. Do they want him enough? If he's around 8, 9, which is much more likely, do you trade up for that? I'm not sure.
I think no, just because of the 3, I think one could fall to 13. And the Panthers trade kind of does hurt the Chargers, because them being at number 8, there's no way now that they have their quarterback, they don't snatch up Sewell or Pitts. That would probably be your trade target right there. But like you said, if both of them are somehow available at 8, you call number 9, the Denver Broncos, and you just take who's left over their way. You save just a little bit of draft capital versus trading up to 8 versus 9. Not much, but enough. And then you get one of the two guys. You just take whoever the Panthers didn't, and you're still being aggressive and still making some calls on the team. But at 13, I'd love to see them go defense, but I just think Horn, Surtain, or Farley, one of them will fall. And of course, we could explore trading back. 13 overall. The Chargers have, if Trey Lance is still around, maybe a Patriots might trade up with you, or a Bears or Washington. A lot of options, but to me, trading up and the aggressiveness, if the price is right, is the way to go.
Yeah, you bring up the Broncos. I think that would be a good target to swap spots with or trade up to, because the Broncos are going to be looking for a quarterback likely, so they would know that the Chargers have a totally different market of players that they're looking for. Carolina kind of the same way, but they'll be more competing for, I guess the Panthers, now that you got Sam Darnold, are probably going to be looking for similar players that the Chargers are. So yeah, you said it perfectly. And then the aspect of trading back, I think this is less likely and I guess less exciting for the Chargers, but could end up helping them in the long run just as much. I like the idea of them potentially trading back for a running back. Now, that would have to be in the event that you believe in somebody like Najee Harris, who's probably going to be the first running back to go, him or Travis Etienne, that much. Because, I mean, we've looked around and just kind of thought about it. You'll probably get a guy, say Trey Sermon, one of the lower running backs on the list, probably in the 3rd or 4th round. So you can get a running back. I'm not totally sold on Austin Eckler as a pure running back. He catches the ball out of the backfield very well. But as a runner, he's really not that good. So I'm looking for the Chargers to try to pick up a running back. So if they're going to trade back, I think they maybe trade back with the Steelers, for example, who got, 25 or 6 or something like that. There. Trade back for that. Maybe draft Najee Harris. That would be pretty high for him to go. But that would be an example of where I could see maybe the Chargers trading back.
Yeah, my favorite trade back would possibly be, say at 13 overall, you're on the clock. All the great ones are gone. Pitts, Sewell, Slater, all your steals that you consider a steal are gone, and you're looking at Elijah Vera Tucker, Christian Darrisaw, who would still help out this team, but a Trey Lance is still on the board. To me, you call the Patriots, you make a trade there, you drop back 2 spots, and you maybe get a 3rd rounder or 2nd rounder exchange, nothing huge, but maybe 1 or 2 decent picks, or dropping back 2 picks in the 1st round. You could still pick up at 15th overall a Darrisaw or a Vera Tucker, one of the guys you already had at 13, but for trading back 2 spots, and you didn't really lose anything. You just gained, getting the same guy you probably would have at 13, because the Patriots would be taking that Trey Lance guy. Vikings, we don't know what they'll do, but I still think if they went to 15, got some capital, they could get the same guy they're looking at 13.
Yeah, and we've said it several times before that, say you draft Christian Darrisaw, who we have as a well-advised pick for the Chargers, is kind of boring. I mean, honestly, it's weird to say, but it's an O-lineman, and that's just not exciting. So if I'm a Chargers fan, I'm excited just for the possibility of a trade up or trade back, or either one, because that just kind of mixes it up.
Yeah, and the draft is probably one of the best parts of the offseason, because all this speculation, every video we do, no one knows until this draft day, until the teams are on the clock. It's all speculation, and I'd love to see them be aggressive, but we don't know who will fall or what will happen until the clock is ticking.
Yeah, and a lot of we've done mock drafts and thought about it. A lot of the ones, at least I've thought, that Penei Sewell is going to go to the Jets. Yeah. But now it's looking like they're certainly going to be taking Zach Wilson. So Penei Sewell, we can certainly see fall farther than we thought. I mean, other top picks, Detroit could definitely use an O-lineman, I guess. Atlanta the same way. But
what route the Bengals going to go?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow wants Chase, but the front office, that's a big question mark on Sewell as well.
Right. That's the Bengals O-line was a question mark last year, but I guess a lot of recent stuff we've been looking at or thinking about says they're going to take Jamar Chase. So there's just a lot to think about, but I do think the possibility of the Chargers trading up or back is very real, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, as much as I want it to happen, if I had to put money on the line, I don't think it will happen, just because I think the big guys are going to get swept up, especially with the Panthers taking a player very similar to what the Chargers will be looking at, and I think at 13, they're just going to go best player available, whether it be J.C. Horn, Elijah Vera Tucker. I want to trade, and I want them to be aggressive, but I'm not Tom Telesco. I'm not the GM. I think he's just going to do his normal thing where he's nonchalant and just take whoever the best player available is. And it's not a bad route. Might turn out J.C. Horn might be the next best thing. But if Kyle Pitts or Sewell is just dropping, I have to at least see what he costs.
Yeah, in the end, those are the 2 guys, at least for me, that you trade up for is either Sewell or Kyle Pitts. Guys, that's all for the video. And I guess as far as the question today, we kind of already answered it, but my number 1 guy I'd love to see the Chargers trade up for is Kyle Pitts.
I'm going to go Penei Sewell just because of Justin Herbert connection and the team chemistry. I'm going to go with Sewell.
That is a good pick. Guys, thanks for watching. 2-minute warning.